Paano po nangyari ito na tatlo ang pangalan ng isang tao?
Si Wen Li Chen, Li Wenxiong, at Alan Lim ay isang tao.
So don't tell us na wala, no? Dahil meron. Kaya nga kung wala PSA, you are violating your own memorandum circular.
Ito bang apat na pangalan na ito ay isang tao? Pero sabi nyo, ay isang tao ito.
What's up mga kayo? Welcome back pa rin syempre dito lang sa Joe Malone TV. Tunay na balita, walang kinakampihan, sumasalamin sa katotohanan lamang.
License. Iba pa rin yung nasa birth certificate. Can we hear from PSA first and then the Bureau of Immigration? Ano po ba ang basehang legal why we allow this practice among Chinese nationals?
Madam, as per our civil registration rules, we follow the naming convention of Filipinos. But in the filling up of the, for example, the certificate of live birth, it will depend on the information that will be provided by the informant. So they sometimes provide the Chinese name or a Filipino name and supported by other documentation.
Since these are Chinese nationals, is it not prudent to maintain that we just allow their Chinese names so that we will not be confused by their Filipino names and vis-a-vis English names? They have so many names.
Yes, ma'am. Kasi pag Chinese national, they are bound to follow the Chinese name. But as I mentioned po, in the filling out of the certificate, the entries that will be provided is based on the documentation. For example, a valid ID presented during the registration.
In international law, we are bound to follow the national law of the foreign nationals as well.
Yes, ma'am. We do apply that, ma'am. But as I've mentioned, it depends on the one being used and the IDs that will be presented upon registration.
But can't we stick to one name only? Whatever is the name being used in their country of origin should be the name that they should be using also in our country. Meron po ba tayong batas na nagsasabing, okay, let us allow their Filipino names. Okay, let us allow their English names. Paano po nangyari ito na tatlo ang pangalan ng isang tao? I'm asking about the existing legal provisions under the Philippine law or jurisprudence which expressly allows. Okay, Philippine government, payagan nyo yan. Tatlo ang pangalan ng isang tao.
Siyempre, meron din tayong kasama mga kapulisan, yung mga smart natin.
Meron po ba tayong batas na nagsasabing pwede nating payagan ito?
Yung mga towing natin.
If I may, Congresswoman Luis, no, and PSA, no, perhaps siguro we can ask kung yung bang sinasabing tao na merong tatlong name is one and the same. Kasi we're not sure So, the name of Mr. Alan C., Alan Lim, ano pa isa, Johnson Chu, Wen Li Chen, maybe we should ask Colonel Acerto or PSA, meron ba kayong photos or biometrics nung pangalang yung Alan C at saka yung mga Chinese name na yon, kung meron kayong biometrics nun?
Mr. Chair, in the certificate of live birth, we don't have a photo or biometric.
But how were they? Yun nga ang problema. That's really a serious problem.
And then again,
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Let me just finish my
in relation to that.
Kasi we might be, I'm confused as to whether this Alan C and Lin Wei Sheng, Wen Li Chi is one and the same. So ito ba ay isang tao? Ito ba ay tatlong tao? We're not sure. How can we now confirm? perhaps we can ask the person who mentioned these names. Sa pagkakaintindi ko, it was Colonel Acerto ang nag-mention itong mga pangalan na ito. So, if PSA cannot provide us with the biometrics or even photos of this person or persons, may problema tayo. Malaking problema yun.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I beg to disagree with the position of the PSA because under Memorandum Circular Number 2023-006, minimum requirements for late registration of birth pursuant to the implementation of the PLC's Birth Registration Assistance Project. One of the requirements, PSA, letter E, any proof of identity like barangay certification, driver's license, among others, are required. So in other words, Mr. Chairman, kung merong submission doon sa 5 requirements that was asked by Memorandum Circular Number 2023-006, makukuha niyo po yung pictures ng lahat ng hinihingi po ni Congresswoman Luistro. Because ito po yung mga requirements po ninyo doon po sa late registration. Nare-relax po ninyo at ginawa niyo 5 na lamang ang requirements. So don't tell us na wala, no? Dahil meron. Kaya nga kung wala PSA, you are violating your own memorandum circular. Can you please reply?
Thank you, sir. We would like to clarify that in the filing, I'm just answering the question a while ago on the naming convention, whether we allow the 3 names. So we don't know kung yung 3 names na yan pertaining to the same person. And the question a while ago, sir, is yung sa naming convention. But we would like to clarify that yung photos, dalawa kasi yung scenario. Yung timely registration, nandun yung informant. So yung facility will capture the information. Wala po yan picture. Wala pong kinakaptured na picture upon registration for the timely. Now, sa delayed registration, Mr. Chair, yung pong binanggit ni Kong Daniel, that's the Birth Registration Assistance Project. The supporting documents are being filed with the local civil registrars and probably dun nga sa mga requirements like for example, the passport, everything, nandun po siya. But not included in our digital archives na yung mga scanned copies po.
Pero Madam Chair, no? Mr. Chair pala. Madam, yung po sinasabi po natin that requirements that being asked by the LCR are being given to PSA as repository. Kasi repository kayo So lahat ng requirements na kinukuha ng LCR na hinihingi po ninyo, including driver's license, or any identification of those who are getting any documents from PSA, required po yun. And that's the reason why kanina nagre-react ako dahil ang sinasabi po ni Congresswoman, humihingi siya ng picture. So, being a automated system ang ating PSA, which, by the way, we spend so much, almost 5 billion ang ating kontrata dyan. Dapat kapag tinype na po yung pangalan na hinihingi po ni Congressman Luistro, dapat may po-provide na agad nila right away. Dahil we spend so much for this system.
Okay.
And kung hanapin po natin ang mga pangalan nito, kahit sila po ay on time sa kanilang registration or late sila sa registration, right away you can provide this hearing of all these documents that we are asking, especially, Mr. Chairman, kung hanapin po natin yung mga pangalang yun at i-encode po, hindi nila encode, i-type lang po ninyo ngayon, PSA, we will be giving you chance, pati na to si Johnson Chua, si Lulu Chua, whoever Chua is that, provide po nyo sa amin. And I think it is incumbent upon you to provide this hearing, all of these documents, precisely are now a automated agency that the Filipino people spend so much money for that. Can we have a positive answer on the identities of those persons that was mentioned by Congresswoman Luistro?
Sir, we would like to inform the committee that based on our database, for Alan C, we have 40 hits, meaning there are 40 records of Alan C. For Michelle, we have Michelle C 40, and for Johnson Chua 46. So these are common names, and that's why I mentioned a while ago we will be requiring additional information such as the date of birth, place of birth, and
I
some
think, Mr. Chairman, it doesn't
parents.
matter kung gaano kadami yon. Submit to this committee all those hits, no? And pag bumalik na po sa akin yung time, I'll be asking a lot of personalities that are written on these documents that we have right now for you to have an access para makita na po namin. Even the AD lang, saka si Chua, we can possibly know, di ba? And probably ask Mr. Asierto to identify those people that have been given by the PSA to us. So, Mr. Chair, I think we have to ask the PSA to do their job right now.
Yes, sir. We will submit the names of this based on the hearing, and we have already submitted for Edith Young and Jack Young.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay, Congressman Paduano.
just a short interjection with regards to the query made by Chairman Dan. Actually, yung Eddie Yang was already established. No? He's a foreign national, he uses an alias in the Philippines, late registration, but he's using Chinese passport. Ano na yon? Established na yon. Willie Ong, ganun din. Now, Chairman Dan is talking about that memorandum circular. At it cannot be applied now because that was a memorandum circular dated 2023. Because of the series of hearings that only in this committee and, well, in fact, in my committee and the public accounts, ay yun yung mga remedial, di ba, steps that PSA has made because of series of hearing. Now, if you ask about data based on that memorandum circular, you cannot find it because that data was, I presume, before 2023. Tama? O yun dapat ang sagot niyo, madam, kay Chairman Fernandez. But anyway, sabi ng Chairman, just comply with all the names. Bahala na. No? Kasi supposedly the best thing that we can do is to provide you at least malang yung date of birth. Diba? Wala eh. Diba? Wala eh. So, please submit na lang po. No? Submit na lang kung ano lang yung nandun. Tapos sa mga specific circumstances lang ng mga individual. Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, Congresswoman Luistro, you may proceed.
Still on the issue of various names, Chairman Caraps mentioned earlier that Michael Young has 2 passports. One is a Chinese passport, the other is Philippine passport. May we hear from the Bureau of Immigration, is he a dual citizen? Why he was allowed to be issued a Philippine passport as well?
Good afternoon, Madam. The Bureau of Immigration is not aware of the existence of the Philippine passport of Michael Yang. From our record, Your Honor, the Chinese name of Michael Yang is Yang Jiajing, who was born on 19 January 1983. I'm very sorry. So the name is Yang Hongming, who was born on October 2, 1976, Your Honor. And he is a Chinese national.
But do you confirm, if the DFA is here, I wish to hear also from DFA, ang nag-i-issue lang dapat ng passport ay yung country of nationality. Passport ka. Kung Chinese ka, Chinese passport ka. The only occasion that we will be seeing a person with 2 passports for Filipinos are those who are dual citizens, because we allow dual citizenship. Then how come that Michael Yang was issued Philippine passport as well? If you will be raising the late registration of birth. Ibig sabihin, he made it clear na siya ay Filipino citizen also, apart from becoming Chinese citizen. And this reminds me of the significance of the restriction we need to impose application for late registration. Hindi ho pala kailangan mag-apply ng dual citizenship eh. Just because of the very convenient way of applying for a late registration, lalabas ng Filipino din siya while maintaining his Chinese citizenship. Birth certificate is very significant because this can be used in applying for ID with all other agencies. And this explains kung bakit ang isang tao, iba nasa passport, ibang nasa driver's license, iba ang nasa birth certificate. Ito po hindi nagagawa ng mga Pilipino. But how come we are so lax? Which allows the foreign nationals to manipulate our system, come up with various names, and make it difficult for us to even establish their identity. Mr. Chair, can we hear from Colonel Asierto whether this Alan Lim, Lin Wenxiong, and Wen Li Chen
Alan C.
are one and the same person?
And Alan C. also. I think si Colonel Asierto, pwede po bang pakisagot nyo yung tanong ni Congresswoman Luistro?
Opo. Si Wen Li Chen o si Li Wenxiong at Alan Lim ay isang tao. At asawa niya si Nono Lin na tumakbong congresswoman sa Quezon City. Ngayon, para ma-identify po natin si Alan Lim, meron po siyang mugshot at fingerprint sa RTC sa Cavite. Kasi meron siyang kaso doon eh, nag-bail siya doon. So meron siyang fingerprint at mugshot. Pwede pong kunin yon at ikumpara kung ano man dokumentong o sa passport ni Alan Lim. At ito naman pong si Johnson Chua, meron po akong rito, kung ipapadala ko po sa inyo, ay hindi po makita eh. Sorry po. Pero ipapadala ko po sa inyo ito. Meron po akong nakuwang passport number niya. Ang passport number niya is Papa Gold 31505060. Ang pangalan niya ay Sho Yui. Zebra Zebra Hotel Oscar Uniform Yankee Uniform Echo.
Colonel Asierto, is that
Ipapadala ko na lang.
Colonel Asierto, is Colonel Chairman?
Passport number po yan. Passport number po.
Chairman.
Congressman Paduano.
Is that Colonel Asierto, is that passport you're holding, the passport number is a Chinese passport or a Filipino passport?
I think Chinese passport po yata ito eh. Hindi ko na po matanda kasi ang tagal na po eh.
Mr. Chairman,
ito po yung mga pangalan ni Johnson Chua.
Asap lang, pasabit lang sa committee, then we will ask the DFA and the Bureau of Immigration with regards to that passport. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Tapos si ano po, si Alan C. po, siya po yung binanggit ni Las Cañas sa kanyang affidavit sa ICC.
Las Cañas.
Binanggit po ni Las Cañas si Alan C. sa kanyang affidavit.
Okay, sige, medyo ano na to. First, ito, kasi yung tanong ni Congresswoman Luistro kanina, kung meron bang records ang PSA doon sa mga pangalang binanggit niya, no? Yung Lim Wei Xiong, Wen Lichi, Alan Lim, and Alan C. And apparently, there's no record. Kaya nga ang tanong is, ito bang apat na pangalan na ito ay isang tao? Pero sabi nyo, ay isang tao ito. Ganun din itong Mr. Johnson Chua, tama? Sinasabi nyo na yung Johnson Chua at saka yung Chinese name na binanggit nyo na hindi ko mabigkas at saka yung Mr. Greg Xia ay isang tao rin na ang alias ay Johnson Chua. Tama po ba yon?
Opo. Pero si Alan C, iba po yun kay Alan Lim. Si Alan C po ay siya po yung nasa
kasi
Davao Laboratory.
Sige, okay. So, ayun na. Sige, are you done, Congresswoman Luistro? Are you satisfied with the response of PSA?
I wish to state for the record, Mr. Chair, that is the desire of this representation to include in the recommendation. We come up with a law which will restrict foreign nationals from using different names. If Filipinos are allowed to use one name only, then they should be restricted from using multiple and various names, because it makes us difficult for all of us to even establish the identity and furthermore to locate their whereabouts.
I agree. Comsec, please take note of the manifestation of Congresswoman Luistro and suggestion. Yes, Congressman Gomez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With regards to the manifestation of Congresswoman Luistro and the PSA, Mr. Chair, as we can see, there's so many problems stemming from the works and what PSA has done in the past several years. No, there's so many problems with regards to falsified identities, illegal subscription of passports, etc. So, Mr. Chair, with regards to that, may we ask for a review on the competency of PSA appointees and employees with regards also to their credibility, the documents signed, and documents issued in the past several years, maybe 5 years, Mr. Chair. Maybe we can ask the Civil Service Commission and the Commission on Audit to do this for us, Mr. Chair. Kasi yung COA, kaya nilang gawin yan eh. They can do an audit on that. Kasi lahat ng LGUs, ino-audit nga nila. Pati maliit na pagkakamali ng LGUs, nakikita ng COA. So itong ginagawa ng PSA, kung maraming kalokohan na ginagawa dito, they can easily check on that, Mr. Chair.
Okay, if did I get it right, Congressman Gomez, that you want a record of the review and audit on the competency of people running the PSA?
That is one, Mr. Chair. And the issue one says?
You are suggesting that we get this information from the civil service.
Yes.
So I guess it's not difficult to ask this from civil service. We will make representations to the civil service as to the request of Congressman Gomez.
And if the COA, Mr. Chair, can do an audit on all the issuances, passport issuances, Mr. Chair, makikita nila yun.
Okay. Is COA the right agency to get that information as requested by Congressman Gomez?
Kasi audit sila eh.
Okay. So, sige, the committee will also make representations to the Commission on Audit in compliance to the request of Congressman Gomez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just would like to make a follow-up if I'm okay. Doon sa sinasabi ni Colonel Asierto kanina, I'd like to direct this to the PIDEA. Sino yung representative natin ng PIDEA ngayon?
ASEC Gumban.
ASEC, may knowledge ba kayo dun sa raid din nyo sa Dumoy? What is your knowledge dun sa regarding dun sa illegal drug raid sa Barangay Dumoy?
That was in 2004, sir. We'll get the records for that. We have that records, but now I think nobody's was there during the time.
No, it was a diary.
Yes, sir, we have, but we have to get it from our data.
You know, sir, this is a very important investigation for you to answer us that way. You do not waste our time. Nababalik ka sa agency mo, sabi mo sa amin, kukunin mo yung records. Offhand, you do not know? You have no information on this?
Sir, we have that information, but
So
it's
tell me,
still on our
what
records.
information do you know? Huwag mo kayong paikutin. Huwag mo sayangin yung oras namin dito.
We have just received that information, sir. So we will just...
Asan ho kayo galing before this? Asan ho kayo naka-assign? Ano ho kayo?
I was the director of anti-kidnapping group at that time, sir.
Oh, police ka.
Yes, sir.
Wala kayong information?
That is a drug information, sir.
So when
I
you
am
assumed
with
this position, you were not briefed by your agency?
Sir, that is not our job at that time.
That's not your job. Ikaw nga nakaupo dyan ngayon eh. Hindi ka binibrief sa lahat ng mga ginagawa ninyo? What kind of agency do you have? What kind of a director are you?
Congressman Gomez, if I may.
Yes,
just
Mr.
a
Chair.
Interjection. Siguro, ASEC, ang tanong ni Congressman Gomez, meron ho ba kayong idea tungkol doon sa nangyaring raid sa Dumoy in Davao? Yes, we do understand that you are not yet with PIDEA and you were with another agency during that time. But meron ho ba kayong information, at least briefer, na sinabi sa inyo tungkol dito sa pinag-uusapan ngayon?
Sino yung nandun? This was just brought out today, sir. So we can have that records expands from our records.
Congressman Gomez, it seems that they were not aware, of the Dumoy drug operations back then. And siguro we will give them time to share with us whatever information they have on that particular operations, anti-illegal drug operations.